There's a lot of misconceptions about digging holes in the sand. So the last thing you want to do when you plan to go metal detecting somewhere is get on a metal detecting forum, phone a friend, poll the audience, or go 50-50. When I say forum, that's the antique word for, there, see, there's a bird hollering at me. What I was saying was, I wish I had shoes on. When you want to find out the truth about going somewhere or metal detecting somewhere, you call the lokes. Not the lokes that work here, the lokes that run the police department, the fish and game, or game and fish, the sorry, I'm eyeballing the spots. Anyway, every metal detecting forum I've looked at for years, 90% of them say it's absolutely illegal to metal detect on Dauphin Island. That's not true. And the only reason I'm making this announcement now is because this is my last trip here. In case I find the Spanish gold. I prefer classic pool tabs, but it doesn't matter. You can metal detect in state parks. You can metal detect on, look at that, in national forest. So you ask yourself, boy, he don't boy right there, he don't know what he's talking about. To metal detect in the national forest, you have to have, now this is Alabama, I don't know about places who are strictly 100% like really worship the dirt, yet do pretty major construction to build condos. But I know in Alabama, you just go to the sorry, I'm looking. You go to the game, not the game warden, but the park person. I can't get my words out. And a beautiful morning. It's a good day. Choose your bliss. There's nothing wrong with it. Bottom line is ask permission. I have metal detected many forts on the coast. You gotta ask permission. I have got gold pan permits for metal detecting in the national forest, and they're clear. You can metal detect as long as the site has been developed or was previously developed. This is awesome. It's my first pull tab. You can do that. I did not bring anything to dig with. 5660. Still a long way down. I didn't bring anything because I prefer digging with my feet. That way, if it's a sharp object, I find it fast. Now see, it's still 50, so I'm hoping this is a pull tab. Mulberry Street. Y'all seen that? It doesn't work. You better. Oh. You know, it does no good to be in silence when see, that did hurt. Whatever that is, that hung up on my foot and it did hurt. It was a crab claw. That is oh man, I messed up my Dauphin. No. Hold on, let me get this out. Anyway. 52, 57. That's a pull tab. It's gonna be my first. This place, believe it or not, has some pretty decent food. If you have patience greater than that of Job, which is impossible. It's a crazy long 80. We're gonna see what the problem is. It's gotta be a can. But it's not that deep. I figured there would be a lot. And I am gonna come out and get these. Don't get all tricked. But I figured there would be a, oh my goodness. And this is why you make the on off a separate button than your settings button. Oh, there's somebody kayaking out there. Oh, they're fishing there in a fishing kayak. That's pretty cool. Look at that little blurb of clouds poking up. Isn't that neat? I'm hoping we get another can. Well, I wasn't trying to be mean. Never mind. Oh, here. What I was trying to tell you was you can metal detect. You can metal detect anywhere on Dauphin Island except close to. I just realized I got way off on my story, didn't I? You can metal detect anywhere on Dauphin Island except close to the fort, which makes sense. And well, it really doesn't make sense because I would that's my pal for those whose blood pressure just went up. It doesn't make sense because I would allow people to metal detect with a permit and with the with them saying, you know, bring whatever you find here and we'll decide if you keep it or not. Because I don't care what I find. If somebody wants, well, the community owns this. The community that lives here. If you're in the DIC, the Dauphin Island cult, you have a card that tells you I don't have to go to your restaurant and pay $300 2 or 3 days in a row and then give you another $10 to go to the beach. I know what you kids are thinking. Oh, that's my favorite pull tab. I harvest those in the pocket. Big things go in a pile. You have to say that. Actually, I do. You don't have to say anything. Oh, we're down to 31 peas on here. Break it up, break it up. So I want to find. But if you're in the DIC here, that's the Dauphin Island cult. You have a card which tells you okay, see, that's 46 to 55. That is a solid gold ring. We don't want that because gold is tacky. That's why people go with platinum or silver. I roll silver. That's about 60 bucks at Walmart. Because it's, I don't know, it's just cool. Gold is tacky unless it's 1960 on appliances. $40s to 50s. See, I lost it. I don't want that one anyway. It was a gold ring. Maybe I have metal detector here before. It's looking familiar, but sand generally looks like sand. So you have a card that gets you in the pool, gets you in the tennis courts, gets you into this. 72, 75. This is going to be an absolutely amazing find, except it's scratchy, which means it's going to be a tent stake. Tent stakes are interesting. Tent stakes are interesting because, well, take for instance last night, someone that came with us on this trip got a steak and a sandwich. A tent stake is similar because, except you gotta get your words together and try to do like 8 things at once here. A tent steak you eat in a tent. My goodness, finish your words. It was right there, y'all moved it. Is it that? Yeah, see, somebody burned it. It's not a piece of lead, although it looks like it. It's a burned piece of aluminum. If it was lead, they would say, never mind, I've heard that story too. Okay. I cover my holes. I didn't cover a hole one time on a beach. And this massive amount of, actually this is a parable, a massive amount of old man came up to me and said, dude, somebody's gonna fall in that hole and die. And they reprimanded me. And they wrote letters to the New Order of Hole Diggers. And they were gonna burn me with a stake. And I said, no, don't do that, because a steak that is overcooked can leave a scar. So they said, okay, just don't ever do that again. So I went up and down the beach for a few days and I took pictures of children. Okay, I took pictures of kids who were digging holes in the beach and not filling them. And I reported them to police and human resources and in the metal detecting forums. Had them all taken away and go into holation rehab. That's the fine art of digging holes. Hole integrity, holation. That's why I started that class on holation. See, there is a Spanish library right there. They're rare. There's not another one in my hand. That is how rare that is. That parable was brought to you by me. Not like a biblical parable. It's two people's story put together, which is a pair of bull. See, they enjoyed it. 54.55. According to Garrett at Gold, he assures me this is a piece of gold. The other piece of gold I skipped. There it is. I lost it. The parable of the story is Actually, you don't have to cover holes in the sand. Are you really making that sound? I like it when they're not deep like that. And they're just right there. Because you know what it's going to be. Look at that. From the factory, that one, 100% one owner. Now here's the difference. Digging holes in people's yards, you cover the holes. Always. And forever. There's a very large flying bug that just went by me. You know, I'm surprised because we came down here for a concert once, not intentionally, but at the, no, I can't say that. We came down here to put food in our face, and there happened to be a concert going on. So after the feed in the face, I said, let's go down there where the people are. Well, there's lots of people, there's got to be some fun going on, and there was a band. 55. And there was a lot of people, a whole lot of people watching this band at a Mobile, and they're pretty good. They come up, they got my autograph and everything, and they said thanks, and I gave them a couple of pull tabs, and we went our own ways. But this place was packed. You could smell other people's deodorants. You could smell infections people had. You could smell what they had for lunch yesterday. I usually carry a little beach shovel. This is an LBS, for those not in the industry. Oh. I wonder what the green light means. I didn't read the directions. The goal is find something, right? I don't care if you can Bluetooth to it and check it when it's at home. So when you start digging with your hand like that, then I kind of toe the line. Look at that dinosaur tooth. Actually, that's the guy's tooth I used to work with. I think it's the same color. I may return that to him. I can't believe there's no one out here. Actually, I can. I think they open. Well, they open for breakfast over there at 11. No, this place opens at 11. This place has a buffet that's actually really, really good. And since I am, or have become, the DIC, that's Dauphin Island. Hold on. The Dauphin Island critic. I'll tell you why it's great and why it's not. First of all, everybody's really friendly, and that counts. And sometimes over the rides, the crappy food thing, but the food's good. But it's cold. They got these big. It's a buffet, a breakfast buffet, and they got this, and they got this tan behind this thing that's covered in fog and condensation, so you can't see what you're getting. So you're hoping you're pointing at the right thing, and it looks great, but if you could see it. So it's in these pans about that deep. So there's eggs and bacon and grits and a couple other things. And if they oh, half tab better than one. If you I'm forgetting which button to push. If you forget, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Let's go. Actually, the food is good, but it is the coldest breakfast you'll ever eat. And the reason is they don't stir it. You know, I think it's heated by steam. I'm not sure what's underneath there, but it looks like steam. And it may be just hot water rolling around in something underneath there. I've never had one of those, and I've never messed with a buffet thing. I cannot believe there aren't more signals out here. But there's not. See, the guy set up right here with the whole band. But they don't stir the food. So let's say you want grits. So you say, can I get a bowl of grits? And so they put them in a bowl. And believe it or not, they were warm. Because the scoop deep. And they put it in a bowl and it stayed there. Everything else they kind of skimmed off the top. I'm not complaining. I'm just sharing. Because I don't leave reviews. A friend of mine who runs, he's a podiatrist and has a few restaurants. He used to go to school down here. He grew up and got in the shrimp business and seafood business. And his Yoda, if you will, who taught him the ways of the foods, said, come here, Jeff, let me tell you something. I always called him Theodore. His name's not Theodore, but it just fit with, since he goes by his initials, so I really don't know what his name is. I wasn't that high up on the food chain to ask, hey, what's your name, dude? Nor was I in the circle of trust. So you're wondering, finish the story, dude. He told me once, he said, come here, Joe. He said there's two kinds of people that go, actually he may not have a southern accent. And he's still alive. I'm talking as if he is no longer with us. He's not with me. It's just me out here. He said there are two kind of people that go and eat out in restaurants. There are two types of people that'll tell whether something's good or not or whatever. He said there's one type of person who will complain and complain and complain and complain and complain and complain, leave bad reviews and all that. Thought I turned it off. And they will come back so you can prove to them that you heard them. I'm adding a lot more words. He didn't say all this. There's two kind of people. Those that complain and come back to make sure you made the change, and those that don't say a word and never come back. Which is true. Because if I don't like it, I ain't gonna talk to nobody. This ain't going back again. I'm wondering if I should report the big cut up, I don't want that one pocket, the big cut up power line that we dug up over there. I'm gonna vote no. We're gonna try a couple more holes, and if we don't find anything, we'll probably just get our couple of beer cans. You know, maybe I don't have this loud enough. Let's find something that, maybe I can't hear anything. I gotta be very quiet. Okay, here's the sound. I want that louder. I just forget which way to turn it. That's not the way. Only one speaker on my headphones work. But I have had these headphones for about 2015. And they have been in the that is an old shell head stamp, and they've been underwater and over water. Oh, my phone. No wonder a person be feeling like he ain't got no friends. Okay, this is a head stamp, and I can't read it. It looks like it says, I don't know what it says, but it's been here a long time, because that is brass. Brass takes a long time to corrode, a lot longer than anything else in salt water, which is awesome. But I can't read it. I usually recognize them. Oh, okay, I see an E and I see an X. This is Nitro Express. This is an old one. This is old, like probably when this was built old. This is old, like probably when my friend went to Little Red Schoolhouse. This is not old like before there was water old. But this is old back when you could put a cow out here, a goat out here, or cut a tree down because you didn't want the tree in your yard. You can't do that anymore. If you want to build something here, you'll have to cut a tree or two down. Not here, but over on where the peoples reside and sleep and shower and potties and all that stuff. Solid 51 to 55. So if you want to build a house, every tree you cut down where you are going to put the house has to be replaced. I think you have to pay for it. I mean, like the trees you cut down. I said it's only 2 inches. And if you cut down another tree, here's another fine. And you won't get away with it. Because there are tree whispers watching you. Look at that little thing right there. I wonder if that's to cut a pie or if it's to make pretty things in the sand. It is, look. It's snow pinpointers. What is this thing? It's gonna be solid gold. What I'm saying is there will be a neighbor watching you, and they'll have that song playing by the police. What is the situation here? Oh, somebody put that metal thing over there. Still, why can't I find it? That's not cool. We had a good sig. A lot of times if you find something and you have a pinpointer, you'll need to put it where the item roughly is. Like, I was over here, because I got done making those. And I was looking around over here when really the item I seek to take possession of is right here. Look at that. I don't feel worthy. That's what, 2.5, 3 of them maybe. I think that one, I think somebody else should have that. That one battery's red. I'm just kidding. Somebody on the island will see this or report it and say, dude, some 3-year-old's gonna swallow that. You know that's why there's holes in lifesavers so kids don't choke when they swallow them. And I say, well, that's why there's holes in pull tabs. So when your child who doesn't, never mind. So let's get this. I hate to stop. We've got like almost no % left. Yeah, I'm done. I got like no % left on my battery. I'm leaving. We got a few cans to pick up over here. You have to say those things with us in the industry, if you will. Otherwise, press 9 to continue. I have to admit, this place looks pretty cool. I think a couple of coats of paint. There's a fellow that sits up here all day, every day, and ensures that you give him $10 before you walk to the beach, which is fine. Now see, I didn't leave that or find it, so I'm not taking it. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. And I'm thinking about coming back later and giving him a pair of Kelly grippers. And I say, why you're sitting on your tail down here doing nothing all day but harassing people who want to come to this island? Why don't you walk on and pick up all these cigarettes and sweep and clean? Sweep and clean is SAC. That's an acronym for sweep and clean. Need you people to go over and SAC. That's for us who used to be in the other industry. Like my friend who's in the shrimping business. I don't see a trash can. So when they open, we'll put this right here and they can trash can it. They won't. It'll be there next year when I come back. I'm done. This place is pretty. And I'm stretching the truth on a lot of my criticisms of people who are real nice. Everybody was nice. If you go through this door, you'll find a lot of stuff. I would sling a coat of paint on here. Look into my eyes, you will find. I wonder if that thing moves. It's fun and friendly, that is. Oh, there's a circle of pine cones. If you have ever seen The Proposal, that's what this circle is. Cheeky, what? Look at it. It's a little circle of garbage and it's beautiful. I got to go. I'm going to Pascagoula now. No, I'm not. I did the Eshton one. I'm going to Biola back to Alabama because it's still early. It's just people are just now waking up, and I'm going to beat everybody down the coastline. Well, I forgot my glasses. I've been standing here too long. There is so much wacky-tacky smoke rolling out the hood of the wagon next to me. I'm not going to show it to you. That it is stout. It's like barely 6 o'clock in the morning. 3:30 in the morning. This says, oh, it's a 16 gauge too. This is a Remington Express. What did I say? Nitro Express. This is a Remington Express 16 gauge. And the only reason that little bit of iron is attaching right there is because there's a little bead right around the brass cap and the brass head stamp, there's a little bead of different types of metal that we use. Could be any type of alloy or amalgamation. So that's why there's a variety pack there. This is an early Lithuanian library. This one is too. These are both zinc. That one may not be. I told you my battery was gonna die. That thing is so hot. It's too hot. Are you charging? No, because you have swollen. I do swole. Why isn't it charging? I don't know. Anyway, the little bead around the thing you put in there could have made of different metals. I want to crack the top off that and see. Do that with one hand without cutting yourself up. Ow. You always cut towards your finger. What I want to see is the bead in here, but I can't see it. So this is a doesn't say Nitro Express. It is a Remington Express 16 gauge. That's all I got. Thanks for watching my video.